And we're live. Yes, I'm getting closer. I almost got it right on the money. I want that countdown. No one else is doing the countdown for me, so I'm gonna have to do it for myself every single time. Got that 5, 4, 3. And then we get live. That's the fun part. That's, when you're all by yourself and it's just me and a camera, you gotta find real fun ways to entertain yourself. That's really what quarantine is all about. It's about how to spend your days just entertaining yourself and finding things to do. What is up? Drop the ghouls. Hello, Sharon Baum. Yesterday I was messing up your first name. Now I'm going to be messing up your surname, your last name. So I apologize about that. Sharon Baum. Kathleen Falls, hello. Hi all to you as well. Good to see you, every single one of you. This is so much fun. I've been like eagerly waiting for this moment all day. I basically just sat here like, okay, everything's all set up. When are they gonna be here? And Tenenbaum. Okay, got it. All right, cool. And 5 o'clock Eastern. That's it. That's the time. Because that's the time that I set, and that's what time I told everyone, and that's what time people are here. But I'm just sitting here all day. Just what else can I do? So lovely to see you. What is today? Today's Thursday. Linguophile, sup? How you doing? It's gonna be a good day. I'm feeling this. It's already been a good day. My hair's getting a little bit longer. This is still a mess up here. So, but it's getting better. Every day, just a little by little, which is really a metaphor for this whole quarantine situation. You know, every day just gets a little bit better. Fewer people falling off. And hopefully we'll be out of here soon. I know New York just extended our quarantine until May 15th. So that's pretty exciting. We got extended again. I'm excited about that. I'll be here every day, every weekday, and loving it every moment. So thank you, Governor Cuomo. That's exciting news. What else is going on here? We're doing risotto today, which I know is a repeat for some of you people, but it's a different risotto. It's a vegetarian risotto, and we're using artichokes. So that's going to be kind of fun. Mostly because on a whim, I think I had a couple of glasses of wine and ordered 2 of these bad boys. I like artichokes. I don't love them, mostly because they take a little bit of work to prep, but and they take up so much room in the fridge that I had to get these things out of there. So that's what we're doing. I really do like them when they're in a restaurant and I don't have to do any of the prep work and they don't have to take up a whole bunch of room in my fridge. So that's my only beef with, and they're actually kind of fun just to, shake around. Gets me every time. Oh, gets me in the mood. Oh, I love it so much. Okay, speaking of getting in the mood, yeah, Bill, tracking my hair on a daily basis is gonna get frustrating. Yeah, well, what's also frustrating is not having any hair whatsoever. So this is basically getting really exciting for me. But let's get in the mood. I need a cocktail. And I'm gonna do kind of a riff on a classic, and we're gonna do an old fashioned, but I'm gonna use some of the mint simple syrup that I made the other day for a little bit of a minty kind of springish twist. Oh, and I'm gonna change up the bitters. Let's use something different. Instead of the regular old Ango, let's go, hold on, how about, I've got a couple of those. Let's go sassafras and sorghum. I know this was a stocking stuffer this last year for this last Christmas, and I'm kind of excited about it. I don't know what sassafras and sorghum smell like. They smell kind of delicious, it's almost a little bit medicinal. Actually quite medicinal, but we're doing it anyway. So let's do it. I need some mint simple syrup. Maybe something to mix with and something to measure with would also come in handy. Get out my handy dandy cocktail kit here. Gonna need you. Oh, you know what? I've already got some of the stuff out back there. So I was making, there we go. Perfect. I was actually making drinks earlier. Not that it matters, but I was making mocktails with some of the fruit compote and stuff that I was talking about the other day. So they were quite tasty. Thanks for asking. And but that's what we were making earlier. Some like blackberry soda and bitters, that kind of stuff. It's kind of fun. But let's make this more of an adult beverage this time. So this is just a scant 1/4 ounce of mint simple syrup. And I've got the mint simple syrup up on my website if you want the recipe there. It's just regular simple syrup, which you can make on your own. And then a whole bunch of mint steeped in it and then allowed to steep, basically. Yeah, and it's, I don't know if can you see green? Kind of, it looks a little pale, but it's like got this nice kind of light, almost like is there like an emerald? It's not quite bright emeraldy, but it's getting there, you know? It gives you the hint of it. It's very lime green. Okay, let's get some bitters in there. Very mint, all right. Just a dash, perfect. Just enough to spice this up. And 2 ounces of my favorite bourbon. We've got, there we go. Oh, that's a heavy pour, heavy 1/2 ounce, or heavy 1 ounce. And then one more, dribbled a little bit. This is Woodford Reserve. It's like, this is my favorite right now. This is what we've been drinking for the last maybe year or two. Before that, we were High West people because we'd gone to the High West distillery in Utah, of all places, and Park Slope is New York, out in Park City, Utah, and which is a weird place for a distillery because Utah is super weird with their liquor laws. Where, for instance, if I had this drink in front of me and you were the bartender and I still had some left in it, and I'm like, hey, bar wench, can I get another old fashioned, please? You could make it, but you couldn't get me, you couldn't put it down on the table in front of me until I finished this. So you're only allowed to have one drink, and I think it's specifically like 2 ounces of distilled spirits or something like that. Only allowed to have that in front of you at one point. So I can't go get a couple of drinks and bring them back to my table either, even if they're for me and Lauren. So it's weird. And just until recently, I think they finally got rid of this rule, at least for bars, and I don't know if they've gotten rid of this rule for restaurants, but up until recently, they had to make all of their cocktails behind what was affectionately called a Zion curtain. So basically, I'd be the bartender, I would make your drink, or you would order the drink, and then I'd have to go back here where you couldn't see what exactly I was doing, and then they'd come back out with a drink. That is super weird. Also kind of creepy, because who knows what they're mixing back there. And then the third thing that is whack about Utah liquor laws, just while we're on this tangent, is that they have this electronic measuring device for all of their base spirits. So like this bottle and like vodkas and gins and stuff would have a nipple on the top of it with this heat shrunken tape on it. So they put this little tape on it, and then they take a heat gun and they would basically bind the nipple to the bottle of alcohol so that you couldn't like muck with it. And then every time like if I ordered an old fashioned, they'd stick this little electronic measuring device on it, invert the bottle, and it would automatically measure out 1 ounce at a time. I call it the Zion squirter because it's super weird, but yeah, that's weird to me that all their stuff is that dosed out. But Utah is actually one of the most beautiful states, so that's what they had going for it. Thus ends my Utah soapbox. So, I need an ice cube. I get talking about all this fun stuff. Yeah, Utah's super weird about their liquor laws. But interestingly enough, they have a lot of like craft cocktail bars popping up all over the place. Well, mostly just Salt Lake City. Oh, Kathleen, yes. So I did make the cake. We actually, so I don't know if Lauren's listening or watching, hopefully not, but we did make it and we had it today. And we ate the whole thing in one sitting because it was amazing. I did take pictures. They're actually on the memory card in that camera that you guys are on right now. Oh boy, it was really good. The only thing I would change, I'll put the recipe up on my website tonight. The only thing I would change is I would have added a little bit more salt to the batter. That's the only thing. I think it just needed another little pinch, but otherwise, holy moly, so good, so molten. Oh god! And then like with the I probably would have added just a pinch more peanut butter too. I already doubled the amount of peanut butter that the recipe called for, but I think a little bit more would have been okay. Because oh man, that was so good. So yes, thank you for asking. Ravik, hey, what's going on today, buddy? My cocktail today will be some French press coffee. Perhaps it will be made Irish. Lingophile, yes. I'm a big fan of the old Irish coffee. Also, a big fan of the French press. That's every morning for us. Yeah, Bill, it's not a dry state. Not exactly wet. It is kind of damp. It's kind of a moist state. All right, I want an orange twist on this. But if you haven't been to Utah, maybe once this whole quarantine thing is over, I so highly recommend it. It is such a beautiful state. My wife and I have been on several road trips across the country and around, and Utah is one of our favorite places to go. Okay, hold on. Gotta get one thing going here. Big old orange twisteroo. Yeah, and we don't have Lauren here telling me I can't say damp and moist or something because those are bad words, but Utah is definitely a damp state. Okay, oh, there we go. A little bit of mint coming out. I think the mint will work with the orange. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Who knows? All right, done with this. You go back there. I'll refill you in a bit. Give this guy a little stir. All right, let's see how she is. Pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. I wonder what else the mint is it's just a hint of mint, and it comes through perfectly. It's not too sweet. I did a scant 1/4 ounce of 1-to-1 simple syrup. And yeah, super good. Yeah, Ravik, here's what the ice mold looks like. So these little sphere molds are super handy. They make like great. I think I've gotten these as Christmas gifts from my in-laws in the past, and they're so nice. I mean, they only do one at a time, but I've got I think 3 or 4 of these, and they're so handy. Like they look super sexy, and I think as Craig or Bill pointed out, they chill the drink more without diluting it, so you can enjoy your distilled spirit without the addition of too much extra water. So, cheers, guys. Happy Thursday in quarantine. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. Hope everybody is, I think it feels like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of feels like we're getting to that point where quarantine was kind of new and it was really scary on the one hand, but on the other hand, it was kind of like, okay, this is new. Let's figure this out. Parents having kids at home full time. They're trying to juggle the schedules and all that fun stuff. And I don't have kids, so I don't know how difficult that was. But it seemed like everybody was kind of like game for figuring this new thing out. Weeks 2 and 3 were making jokes about it and like just getting used to it. And then now, I think people are, at least based on the news articles, it seems like people are like, hey, so, this has been fun and all. When are we getting back into it? And I don't know. I don't have the answers. I hope you didn't come here expecting that. But hopefully we can hang in there a little bit longer. I'm hanging in there. I hope you will too. Hang with me if you have no other place to hang. And, we'll just wait for the time when it's finally safe. So, hey, Noel, you are on time. Yay, welcome. How do I say welcome in Portuguese? Is it some sort of rendition of like bienvenido, or is it atilogos, or is that thank you? Anyway, Ravik, yeah, you do need one of those, dude. It's what is the brand name? The brand name, at least the ones that we get here in the States, is Tovolo. 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 They're great. Love them. Okay. Okay. All right. In Poland, they'll let you go outside next week. That's awesome. Yeah, Lingophile, I do feel sorry for people that have kids as well. Just like if it's hard enough to keep ourselves busy and entertained and living with another, or even not, I can't imagine throwing kids on top of that and how difficult that must be. So anyway, more power to them for doing that. So let's get going here. We've got, so I'm making a risotto. And yeah, I know we made risotto, 3 weeks ago. That was a wild mushroom one. This one is going to be artichoke based. because I just need to get these out of my fridge. They're so huge, and they gotta be free. I gotta let them loose. So that's what we're doing. The other nice thing here is, and I'll tell you this, if you make extra, we can do arancini together. So I was gonna do a pork chop tomorrow. I think I still might, but if I can find the time, I might try to do arancini first as like an appetizer so we can have a 2-course meal together. I think that'd be fun. But arancini, if you don't know, are deep, even if you do know, they're deep fried risotto balls. So it's, leftover risotto with, sometimes you can stuff a little cheese in there, and then you can roll them in a little bit of breadcrumb and then deep fry them for 30 seconds to a minute. If you want to cheat, you can get going already. I've got a recipe up on my website. Just search for arancini or risotto balls or something like that. I can't remember what I got on there. And yeah, super good. So if we have time tomorrow, I got to plan it out. I think we can make it work. But yes. Oh, and bem-vindo. Did I say that right? Bem-vindo, Noel? Bem-vindo? Welcome? Hopefully. I don't know. Bem-vindo. Bem-vindo, everyone. I'll just say it. Linguophile, how many languages do you speak? Or you just like Google that real fast? All right, let's get prepping. So first thing, this is going to take the other thing you should know, by the way, I don't have any vegetable stock or chicken stock or any kind of stock. I'm heating up water. So this is, in my opinion, quarantine cooking. We're just going to use water as our stock for this, which is not ideal, but I think we'll get enough flavor from the artichokes and the shallots that we're putting in there and the Parmesan cheese. It'll just be a little bit like simpler. So if you have stock, use it. But if not, don't worry about a thing. First thing I want to do is I need to get a little bit of acidulated water going on here. So basically, this is going to take me a minute or two to prep each one of these, and I don't want them to oxidize. And artichokes, man, they oxidize super fast. So we're just going to, actually, you know what? So normally I was going to just put some lemon juice or vinegar in a little bit of water and submerge them. But why don't we try something new? I might just cut a lemon and rub it on there. Do we think that'll work? Like maybe it'll deactivate some of the, let's try it. And if not, my artichokes will be a little bit browned. Don't worry about it. Yours won't. Okay, here the death rate hasn't changed with the province, but it's increasing within the country. That's no fun. Smile or die. Okay, let's get a lemon. Okay, came out on top. All right, so let's cut half this lemon. And let's get prepping. So I don't know if you ever prep your own artichokes, but they're kind of fun. I haven't prepped that many, so this is gonna be kind of like, I'm gonna learn a little bit as well here. But we wanna cut off plenty of the top. There we go. Oh man, I need to sharpen this knife, or these are very difficult. We'll pull off some of these leaves down here. And basically we're just gonna start turning this thing. And so we're gonna prep every section of it. So we're gonna trim this so that we can get down to the good stuff on the stalk. And actually, let me trim the bottom now. Oh, that was so much easier than cutting through all those. And then we're also just gonna kind of start basically just turning the artichoke in our hands. And the idea here is to cut off all the leaves and just expose the heart. So I can go even closer. So basically, let me get these. Don't point at me like that knife. I'm gonna pull off these tougher ones. Oh yeah, it totally squeaks. So that's gonna be fun. It is kind of fun. There you go. These ones down here are super thick and tough, so it might be easier just to pull them off by hand. There we go, and maybe even, yeah, down here. So you can kind of tell, like, see how these are breaking right here? That's okay, we can still pull these off. I'd rather pull than cut some of those. Okay, now we can start turning, well, that one too, and maybe a couple over here. Come on, little guy. Yeah, all right, starting to take shape already. And again, we're just trying to get to that heart. That's the prize here. And I kind of want to keep the whole thing intact. You could cut off the stem, and that's fine. But I think I kind of want to do like long slices of it. Maybe we can decorate, or maybe it'll fall apart a little bit in the risotto as we cook it, but that's okay. Okay. I'm starting to get to the heart. See, I'm actually starting to cut a little tiny bit of the heart. Oh no, I'm not. We're good. We're still good. We're good. All right, now I'm gonna basically take my knife instead of going straight up and down. I don't know if you can see that on which camera, but I'm gonna rotate it just a little bit so I can kind of start to shave off these leaves up here to get to the cone and the choke. There we go. Still not there. We got a ways to go. These little hearts are small. What do we do with the? Noelle's asking, what do we do with the tippity thingles that fell off? I don't know if there's some sort of use for these. Like maybe some of these more tender ones, you could simmer. I know. So I watched Jacques Pepin do this on a Bon Appetit video actually. And I think he was simmering, or he had plans to like simmer the more tender ones with butter. I'm not gonna do that. So, oops, I cut off a little bit of the heart. Yeah, we're good there. I'm not gonna do that. So I would just discard these. Like these are, I don't know if you ever had artichokes as a kid, but you can steam these whole things and then they open up a little bit. And then like this little piece here, you can use to like dip in butter and then you basically just slide that off. So that's the softer part. When do you know you're at the heart? It'll shoot red blood everywhere. No, you know you're at the heart when you stop getting these leaves. So I'll show you in here in a second. So these are slightly more tender. We can cut that off. And now we're a little closer. I'm gonna angle in to get to, here we go. So basically, so I don't know, can you see it here? So like this is, we're starting to get to the heart here. So the green stuff, no, not heart. This is more heart. So in here, there you go. So get my head out of the way there. We're starting to get there. It'll just, you'll kind of start to see it change a little bit. Like the heart or the non-heart part, you can see the leaf like outlines of where the leaves kind of connect in. But then the heart part doesn't have that. So like this doesn't have the impressions of where the leaves were or where they're growing out of. So that's okay. Now we know we've hit pay dirt. Okay, so I'm gonna keep trimming here. And then up around. And then all this like soft, the purple stuff we don't want. The like yellowy stuff we don't want. And then we expose the fuzzy choke, which would be like a cool, like a name of a band or something. And I'm just gonna invert my knife a little bit just to kind of clean that out. You can also use a spoon, and actually that might be easier here. All right, let me keep working here, getting these guys off. And I'm also gonna start cutting along here, along the stem, just to expose some of the softer part. And again, you'll know you're getting there, like, yeah, Noelle. So it does seem wasteful. I agree, but it's basically, I don't know if there's anything you can do with that. I don't know if there's flavor in there that you could like cook, simmer out in a stock. I don't know. The nice thing is I don't think I'm paying per pound. I don't think I'm paying by weight on these. So I think it's just I'm only paying per artichoke. So, and then to kind of clean up the bottom here, I'm just cutting straight in. I don't know, can you tell? Yeah, you can kind of see what my hands are doing here. And then, does that help? Can you see kind of what I'm doing here? I'm just cutting in, right where it kind of meets the stem, and then just rotating my knife a little bit and then cutting down. So there we go. We're getting rid of all the green, the super hard stuff that's gonna be tough to eat. Just run down a little thinner. Mother, you're here, welcome. We're making artichoke risotto. So glad you could make it. Don't worry about being late. It'll be deducted from your final grade. later on. All right, so that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a spoon and just get rid of this gnarly stuff in here. The fuzzy stuff, the choke. Actually, I might just keep using my knife. That might have been... There we go. All the little fuzzies removed. And now we've got this tiny little heart from that giant artichoke. Okay, and you can already tell, like, it's already starting to brown just a little bit. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little lemon juice on it. And then we're testing this out. I don't know if this will work, the whole squeezing juice on it, but instead of submerging it, but I'm just gonna go for it. We'll see what happens. Oh, Noelle. So here's the deal. I'm working on some jokes. They're not going to be hilarious, but let's see. I'm holding you to your word. You said you were working on a stand-up routine to make while cooking. So tomorrow, how about this? I'll write an opening monologue for tomorrow and get back to doing some jokes. Sound good? Sound like a deal? There we go. I'm still going to cut off a little bit more of the screen. But yeah, and yes, that's a promise. Hold me to my word. I cannot promise that they will be good jokes. I can promise they will be terrible. But they will be jokes. Okay, good. There we go. One down. Let's get the second one. So this little tiny knife can't really rise to the challenge. So that's okay. You can just rotate it around and let it and make it squeak. Perfect. Don't want to lose it in this giant pile. Look at this. This is crazy. This is just from one artichoke. Pete, welcome. Good to have you here as well. We're doing artichoke risotto. I made an old-fashioned. That's what we're starting off with here. Yeah, that's what we're doing. All right. And this is kind of fun. Oh, you can also, there's like little, yeah. This is the fun of making an artichoke. It's so much prep for that little tiny heart. But I think it's gonna be worth it. Because they're actually, I know I said I didn't love them, and I think it's mostly just like the level of effort involved, but I think they're kind of fun. It's basically, I feel like if I don't whittle wood, you know, I don't like make little boats and things and carvings. But if I did, I can see the appeal getting in here. That's true, Noelle. At least I won't know. And actually, that's standing in front of a bunch of people and telling jokes and having them not laugh is what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's also what happens at most of my shows. So this is old hat for me. It's basically a room full of people not laughing at things I say. It's been that way ever since I was a kid. It'll be that way until the day I die. I love it. Yeah, P. Me too. It'll be fun. All right. I got my music ready. I got, the jazz opening routine is good. This is going to become just a regular talk show with food. It's gonna be like the Rachel Ray show, except funny. Okay, let me cut off the bottom here. There we go. That's good. Yeah, let's get rid of the green. Almost there. So if you're cooking along with me, and I don't know if anybody's ever done that or planning on doing it, I've got my stock simmering. And by stock, I mean water, since it's quarantine cooking and I don't have anything. This would be a good idea to get like those bouillon cubes, or they have better than bouillon, or better than bouillon, which is nice. It's like bouillon extract. You're prepared for egg puns. Ooh, yes. Yolk's on you, buddy. Oh, God, that hurt to say. Oh, yes. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get the choke. Let's see here. Let me make... Yes. How are we looking on that color? Can anybody tell if that heart up front is getting brown? I think it is. So I don't know if my plan is working of just rubbing it with lemon juice. carving out the fuzzies. Almost there. Look at this giant pile of mess we're making. It's great. Oh, you have cooked along, South Africa. Oh, great. At least somebody's doing it. Happy to... Hopefully it worked. Hopefully this wasn't like a bunch of terrible advice. Midnight snacks. Oh, you normally do the recipe the next day. That's fun. So, I don't know if you're on Instagram, but if you are, send me like a story or something, or tag me in a story. I'd love to see how it turned out. One of the recipes. That's cool. I'm glad. Or like how you totally changed it. You know, if it was totally different. All right, now I'll just trim the last of this. So sometimes some of these fuzzies, they get everywhere, it's all right, we'll just trim the top here. Trying not to lose too much of the heart. There we go, that's pretty good. If a few get in there, oh well. I do want to trim green. A little bit more. And see on the bottom, you can kind of tell where the green, let's see, can you? Boop. You can kind of see where the green cuts out. No, Noel, yeah, it feels like I'm carving a rose here. But no, I am done with these artichoke hearts. Okay, good. Let's get some more acid on there. Let's see if this works. I mean, worst case, it'll just be a little bit brown, but there we go, our 2 artichoke hearts. I need like a standing ovation on the soundboard. That would be absolutely perfect. And also so common, really. Okay. Happens all the time. All right, I'm gonna save the lemon, and I've made a complete mess. So this is just gonna go straight. I don't even want to put this in the sink. Let me get the trash can. Better yet, I'll just put it all in a bowl. Brilliant. That's what I knew I had this out here for a reason. This is so crazy. If anybody has a fun idea with what we could do. Oh, you love dad jokes. Good. Then you're gonna enjoy most of my stuff. That was a joke. Yeah. Okay. If anybody knows what to do with like a creative use for all these leaves, let me know. I mean, I could make like a hat out of them, I suppose. That would be kind of fun. But I don't know. Anything to cover up my head. Maybe I could just glue them to my head. Just... Okay. Beautiful. Now let's get... Did I bump it? I bumped it a little bit. Yeah, Noel. Which is exactly why I'm a pro cook, and you saw me keep that bowl pretty much at my station. So, I mean, you know, guilty as charged. Pro cook. Okay, what else am I doing here? Oh, I need some, okay. Here, speaking of pro cook, here is my mise en place for the risotto. Got it all measured out. Oh, got some wine. Even the salt and the garlic. I did this just in case the artichokes took a while to trim up, and they did. So, I'm glad we did this. Everything is ready to go. I do need to grate the cheese. That is what I will do here in just a moment. I'm gonna cut up the shallots first though. Isn't this pretty? My favorite part of mise en place is just how organized everything looks. And then we can start adding heat and the cooking part's fun. But I just love how like everything looks, everything's nice and in order. I can't control anything in the world except, you know, what's right here at my station. So I like that. Oh, this is the part I need. Okay, and we'll leave the garlic here. Oh, I didn't measure out the olive oil yet because that's in a jar. All right. And this recipe, South Africa, if you do want to cook this, I'm using the base risotto recipe that's on my website already. I think it's like, just look up risotto in the search, or it's like, I think it might be with asparagus or something and mint, but it's that base recipe, and I'm just adding artichoke. Oh, and I'm adding a little bit of wine. I don't think that was on the recipe for some reason. What was the question I just missed? How long do I predict it'll take me for my hair to grow back? I'm guessing, oh, that's a good question. So 1, 2, 3, probably 6 weeks until I look normal again. I don't know is the short answer, because I've never done this. This is the shortest my hair has ever been, but usually like on the sides, this is about the average length, or like when I get a haircut there, it's about this short, and I can go like 3 weeks before I need it trimmed, and about 6 weeks before it has to be cut, like on the sides. So, oh no, it might be longer than that for the top. I don't know, maybe 2 months. So my prediction is 8 weeks. So what is it now? It's middle of April. So middle of May, middle of June. Yeah, so I'm gonna guess maybe second week of June. That's gonna be a while. Oh, yeah, Noel, okay, nobody asked you that my shallots weren't diced, so therefore it's not mise en place. It's like the pre-mise, okay? God. This guy, Noel. The pre-mise. I mean, if that's not a thing, it's now a thing. Pre-mise. Your shallots aren't diced. Okay, and let's crush some garlic. Where'd you go, garlic? Oh, you're already out here. One like is one less day for his hair to grow back. Yeah, Monster Master. Yeah, good idea. Or Monster Master. One like is one less day for my hair to grow back. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be. It's weird. I mean, hopefully they don't all of a sudden reopen things, because I look nothing like my headshot right now, and like if I try to get an acting gig or a commercial or something, I will not look anything. I mean, right now, thankfully, all of the like gigs coming down the pipe are film yourself at home type things, but I look nothing like my headshot. So they have no idea now if I, booked a commercial, how different I look. So I wouldn't book a commercial, I guess is where that is. Okay. Oh yeah, Noel, thank you for reminding everyone. Don't forget to like the stream. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever people do. Wow. That could have been a disaster running into that cabinet. All right, let's give this a quick mince. Since it's not mise en place, since it's not minced already. Well, Nemesis. Yeah, Monster Master, that's a great idea. Just do an hour of stand-up while I'm doing the cooking show. You know what? That might be smart, because if the recipe sucks or like the cooking show sucks, then at least I have the jokes to fall back on. And vice versa, if the jokes suck, then I have, well, at least, it was good food to fall back on. So. Your son's in a Gnarly Nerd. That's awesome. And it's awesome both that you learned that and that your son is in an intro to culinary arts class. Is that high school? That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, Bill, I will have to take a role that like allows me to wear a hat. We need head models for hat wear. Perfect, I'm your guy. I'm great from like the ears down, from a side view. That's gonna be my new, it's really well done right there in my temples. Perfect. Okay, that's awesome that they're teaching that in high school. Gnarly Nerd. Okay, let's get going. I'm done here. And out. Perfect. Taking a bow, clean up some food. Let's get going. All right, so I do need about 100 grams of oil, which seems like a lot. But this is going to be oil that goes throughout the entire recipe. So, and it is a lot, but that's what we're doing. See, that was only 30. That was only 70. That's about 100. Perfect. Okay. See, this is one reason I measure, because I would have guessed that was way too much oil, but I forgot. It's been a couple weeks since I made risotto, so. Go to an honors school and no culinary lessons. Oh, you go to honors school. Okay. Yeah. So we're just gonna sweat these. It's on low, but I've had it on low for a few minutes just because I wanted it ready to go. So this is a little bit of a, it's not quite saute. We're still sweating, but it's an aggressive sweat, which would be a great nickname for me most of the time. I've not found, actually I'm not sweating right now. This is nice. This is really good. It's like the one time of the day where I can be really me and I'm not sweating. I didn't know where that was going. I have no plans for that. That's just something I wanted to share with all of you. Oh, and our water is hot. Anthony, you know better by now. So I love these, whoops, sorry. I love these copper pans. This was a birthday gift from a number of years ago. I love the looks, but the handles are cast iron and they're so hot. So I always have to remember to use a rag to lift it up if it's been on there. I don't use lids that often, but when I do, I seem to always forget that they're hot. This one, not hot. It's a non-conducting, it's great. Love it. Okay, these are getting nice and sweated. How do you like that, lingophile? Right? Is that the right past participle? I like how when I'm ignorant of something or I don't know it, I just get aggressive. How about that, lingophile, huh? Oh, I forgot to cut the artichoke or slice the artichoke heart. That's fine. No, it's not. I have to do that now. We don't need this lid. That's good. All this chit-chatting. See, at least I left my knife out. That was nice. Planning ahead. Yeah, Monster Master. Cast iron is awesome, except for that handle. So we're just gonna go kind of slice like this, cross sections. And then just carefully down the middle of this one. Because I don't know why. I just think I like the way that this looks. You know, to have a couple of big artichoke parts pieces in there. And we're actually gonna add this in there now. Because we'll get a little bit of brown on them, that'll be fine. Also, I'm too lazy to get these in acid to stop the browning, so they're just going in now. And nice cross section here, perfect. You know, ideally, these would be evenly cut, the same width, but that's ideal. This is quarantine, so. Artichoke wrenches. Yeah, Robbie, they do kind of look like wrenches. Okay. Perfect. Now we can get rid of this. Perfect. All in a day's work. Oh, I'm actually interested in that question too, Monster Master. Carbon steel versus cast iron. That's good. I don't know. Okay, now these are pretty well sweated. I'm gonna add the garlic. Again, we're still kind of over low-ish heat, low, medium, low. I don't like to cook garlic over high heat or even medium because it burns so quickly, and then it gets bitter. It goes straight in the dish. You cannot get it out. It's a difficult life, really. Just gotta remember that. What are we doing here? Oh, I need to grate the cheese. Oh, Anthony, almost. Okay, we're done with this. I know that. At least I can put this away so I don't start cutting myself. Always a risk, really. Okay, that's good. Now let's get the cheese going. I'm gonna use a smaller cutting board only. I don't have to defend myself, but I will anyway. I'm gonna do this only because it's smaller, it doesn't get over on the burners, it doesn't bump the camera, so that's what we're doing. We'll use my new favorite toy recommended by Andrew Weller. Thank you. I don't know if he's here, but he recommended these. This is actually, every time I make risotto, even if it's just my wife and me, I always forget to grate the cheese. And I really want to have it done because, you know, this requires full attention of just sitting here stirring. But I always forget the cheese. So then I've got to be like, hey, hon, can you do me a solid and grate the cheese for me? I have to ask her just like that, too. So this is just Parm Reg, but you can Parmigiano Reggiano, but use whatever you got. If you can find Pecorino, that'd be kind of fun, slightly different. Grana Padano is a nice, slightly more economical alternative. What else could you use? I haven't tried like cheddar in here. That might be kind of fun to do at one point. Do like an American risotto. Maybe we should look into doing that. I don't know if it'll be better. I think it would be different, but kind of fun, you know? It's like, America, we can do everything better. Who knows? Maybe we're onto something. I don't know. Get this cheese warmed up a little bit. Yeah, Monster Master. I did just name the cheese Reggie. Little Parmigiano Reggiano, named Reggie. I measured this out maybe 20 minutes ago, and it warmed up. Like I left him on the counter, left Reggie on the counter, and it's interesting that it breaks up a bunch, like much more readily when it's warm. I mean, it's obvious, should be obvious, but you know, these are the fun little facts that you get to find out when you do something different, like use room temperature cheese. No one's interested, but which is normal for me, but I find that interesting. Because like it's just breaking up. Everybody's like, move off of the cheese. Next subject. All right, now, gonna add the rice. What kind of rice am I using? I'm using carnaroli rice. A nice rice. But you know, use whatever risotto rice you have. I've got a new one I want to try soon. What is it called? Violone Nano. I just got that. That's going to be kind of fun. Ravik, tomorrow you're making a vegetable tart with cheddar, Gouda, and mozzarella. Oh, that'll be fun. Let me know how that turned out. Noel, why not blend the parm? Noel, what do you mean by blend the parm? Like in a food processor? Is that what you mean? Let me know what you think. Or let me know the answer to that question, then I'll be able to answer. Because if there's a cheat way to do this, I'm in. I am in. Okay, and I'm cranking up the heat here because I want to toast the rice a little bit. Medium high. Oh, it's gonna be your first. Noel, yeah, thanks. I'm glad somebody likes my long tangents. Lauren, director. Oh, in a blender. Oh, okay, that could be kind of fun. Well, maybe the next time we make risotto, we'll give that a shot. Yeah. Because maybe I don't forget to grate the parm on accident, and that's why Lauren always ends up doing it when I make it for the two of us. Because that is like my least favorite part, I think, of cooking is grating. It'd be so much nicer. Like I always think I wish I had a bigger grater or a better grater, or that I had more endurance because my arms get tired. I take a water break. It gets really involved, but I would be now I'm kind of curious what I would do in a blender. That sounds fun. I'll give it a shot. The long cheese tangents, yes. We're well aware, Anthony, of your thoughts on cheese. The other thing I like about adding all my olive oil right up front is that it provides so much more cooking liquid, like to transfer the heat and to toast the rice particles. Kernels. Are they kernels? Kernels is probably more accurate. Husks? No. What do you call the bits of rice? But with all the oil right then and there, it's great. It adds, it helps cook it all. How good are you at baking? So Monster Master saying, how good are you baking? I suck at it. It is too precise. Cooking is loose for interpretation. Oh, linguophile, it's so degrading. Yeah, you know what? I'll pay that. I'll laugh at that. That's good. Monster Master, I'm good at everything. Is the short answer. I'm exceptionally good at baking. I don't do it that much. Well, as you know, I love measuring things, so that's not the difficult part. The difficult part is just the level of experience. Like I have done a lot of it, and I think when you've done something a bunch of times, you kind of know by instinct, like or by smell or by looking at it, like okay, we're getting close, it's done. Like Kathleen Falls asked earlier how that cake or the chocolate cake turned out. That one I had to kind of watch a little bit, but I did know from baking a bunch of souffles and then making basically from making souffles that I liked when it jiggled. When I pulled the pan out just to test it, I was looking for a little bit of that jiggle in the center, and I knew that was okay. But, like on the ramekin, I could see that it was cooked on the outside, jiggling on the center. I was like, yeah, we're good. But I don't have that level of experience, plus one or plus a bunch. So that would make baking a lot easier for me as if I did it more. It's a long-winded way of saying I'm okay at it. I'd like to do more. Yes, Jess, it is. Oh, grains, Bill Woods. Yes, and of course it's grains. Lemon, hello, and yes, it is perfectly 100% fine to have a martini after yoga. It's also fine during and before yoga. So anytime is martini time. Craig said opinions on best pizza toppings, worst pizza toppings. Do you have like a tier list? Yes, I do have a tier list. So in general, less is better. Fewer toppings, but also less toppings. And I get the grammatical difference there. That would be for linguophile. Of fewer and lesser, and less. So cheese, always. And then I don't like, so Lauren doesn't love red pizza, like red sauces, so we never order them. And I'm okay with that, because I love, we're getting kind of toasty here. This is nice. We're about to deglaze. But one of my favorite pizzas from a local company here called Baker's Pizza does Italian sausage, ricotta, mushroom, like a truffle oil, I think, on there. Oh, and like an onion, like a caramelized onion. And that is fantastic. Again, they're light with all of those individual things, but they're all there, and they're all awesome. Okay, so this is getting, I'm getting them over medium high. It's getting kind of toasty. The grains, thanks, Bill, are smelling kind of nutty. So add in some wine. Oh, John runs to make martini. Yes. Today we're doing a fashion. Monster Master. Oh. 1 second, Monster Master. Oh man, that already looks good. Never pineapple. Actually, okay. So if I'm out, if I've had a few glasses of wine or a couple cocktails or something, and I'm at a party, I'm okay with a pineapple on the pizza. Like, I won't advertise that I like it, but I kind of like it. It's okay. I'm not gonna turn down that slice of pizza. Okay. But yeah, in true Italian fashion, Mr. P likes boring thin pizza with little to nothing on top. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's true, Noel. Actually, I do like stuff on top, but not like a whole bunch. And I don't want a big thick crust unless I'm having like a deep dish pizza in Chicago, and that I think is a totally different. I wouldn't put that in the same. That's a different dish. Like that's the difference between meatloaf and a hamburger. Is deep dish pizza. I like. Our normal order? We get sausage, a little bit of truffle oil, caramelized onion, fantastic. A nice regular pepperoni with some some red sauce. That's always good too. I wouldn't kick that out of bed. All right. Oh, I need to add some salt before I forget. Thanks for reminding me, everyone. Oh, and Monster Master sourdough starter. Let me show you. Well, Patty, I know, but imagine you're drunk and someone's passing around a box of pizza, and it just happens to have pineapple on it, what are you gonna do? You know, I'll eat it. I'm gonna have it. That's just me, personally. Nothing healthy, green or tofu. Correct. Mother, yes. I'm not gonna do anything green. Well, yeah, no tofu. I'm trying to think if I would do, like some broccoli rabe. I would do broccoli rabe on there. Because I really like broccoli rabe. I would do that. Yeah, absolutely. Eat the frozen broccoli. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. You can do that. Monster Master. Here is the sourdough starter. So I don't know if you were on, if I mentioned this the other day. I did mention it. Okay. So here's the deal. This stunk the first like 2 or 3 days. It smelled very fruity, very fermenty, but not in like the not like a beer fermentation kind of a way, like in a funky fermentation kind of a way. And I didn't like it. But then, like after the first week, so I think we're like in a week and a half here. Now it smells like sourdough bread. It's really kind of good. And it's bubbling right now. It's actually kind of like, I used to brew a ton of beer, and I always loved the fermentation process and loved like dialing in temperatures to make sure that the yeast were producing the right flavors. This is a little more free form. I'm kind of taking the laissez-faire approach to this, and I like it. Like, it smells really good. I haven't made anything with it yet. I'm supposed to, I think, wait 2 weeks total from inception or conception, but we're getting there. It's very liquidy, as you can tell, but yeah, it's fun. Every day I take out half of it and I replace that half with more water and more flour. And it's nice. His name is, what did I name him? Daryl? I think I named him Daryl. Smile Rodai likes barbecue chicken, nice. Artichokes on pizza, yeah, I could do that. Bill Woods, yeah, I think it's the right microbes outbreeding the undesirable ones. I think you're right. Like, believe me, that first couple of days, that first 5 days, I had to open the windows. And actually, what my mistake was, when I took out the first couple of feedings, I took out half of it and I threw it in the garbage instead of putting it down the sink. And even just like those few spoonfuls, it stunk, dude. It was, laissez-faire, yeah, laissez-faire. I pronounce it the American way, but it was just gross. It stunk. So, yeah, I'm very happy now that that the good microbes have outbred the bad ones. So yeah, I'm actually excited to bake with this. I've made bread a few times, but I don't make bread often because I can go right at the street normally and get bread and it's so good, or across the street and it's so good. Monster Master's asking, stuffed or unstuffed crust for pizza. Oh, well, both? Is both okay? Who introduced, was that Pizza Hut or Domino's that introduced that? That's always, it's kind of fun, honestly, to bite into the crust. And crust has always been kind of good, but I know it's been kind of controversial. Some people like it, some people are bad people and don't like it. But now they really made it desirable by putting stuff in. It's like a whole other pizza in the crust. The deal is, though, I don't want to know. I want to be surprised, Like, I don't want to know that I'm getting to the stuff. Maybe I do want to know that I'm getting to the stuffed crust, because then I'm like excited about getting there. It's like a whole nother thing to look forward to. Oh, we might be onto something here. All right, just in case I'm going to run out of water, I'm going to add more. And yes, I know there's probably Italians rolling over in their graves, but the fact that I'm using water instead of stock, but it's what we got. So, Lingophile's an unstuffed guy. Monterey Salu, stuffed crust seems like a gimmick. Yeah. Oh, it's totally a gimmick, but you know, some gimmicks are good. I would like eat that. DTL votes unstuffed. Okay. So it seems like a little bit, we're kind of 50-50-ish. Good to know. Good to know with this crowd. Make sure that's not getting hot. We're okay. Yeah. Oh man, this smells so good. I'm excited to try this. I've never made a risotto without stock before. And normally it's always chicken stock, because normally I get like a whole chicken every week or so, and I usually turn that into chicken stock pretty quickly. Yeah, I haven't done that for a couple of weeks. I have no chicken stock and no like reserves. Maybe I should get some for reserves. Pizza scientist, says Bill Woods. We're running out of places to put more cheese. Yeah, I know. What if they did like, what if they stuffed it into the whole crust, you know, underneath? So then it's like dough, cheese, dough, toppings, stuffed crust. So it's like the entire crust is stuffed, you know what I mean? And so it's like a flat calzone almost with pizza on top. You heard it here first. This is the point that we're at. Do I know the chemistry of processed cheese with sodium citrate? So, Noel, I don't know about all processed cheese. I know, like, I've purchased sodium citrate before and made my own version of processed cheese, and I loved it, like a cheese sauce. But if that's pretty much the same thing that they do, I'm all for it. Like, I think it's great. I made mac and cheese for a long time with just only cheese, a little bit of water, and sodium citrate. Because then it was like just the cheese, no bechamel, no roux, like it was nothing, no flour, nothing else to contaminate the flavors. But am I missing something? You know, like when you ask that question, is there like should I know of anything? Gnarly Nerd doesn't like stuffed crust, usually because it's cheap mozz. Yeah, I agree. I think it tastes better if it was quality. Yeah, totally agree with that. I just imagine it being quality, maybe. Nathan Lau says, that sounds like a pizza lasagna. Yeah, it does sound like a pizza lasagna, which I would be a fan of. Oh, Little Caesars is already doing that. Okay, well, my $1 million idea down the drain. They beat me to it. Already cheese crust pizza. It's just grilled cheese with toppings on it, like more cheese. Yeah, that's I can do that. But with pizza dough, though, that would be. I think that's. We might be onto something here. Well, Little Caesars is onto something. Oh man. Now I kind of want to buy another pizza stone so we can make pizza here on the show. Because my wife and I used to make, well, I used to make pizza, and it was pretty good. And the recipes I was using, it was out of the Modernist Cuisine at Home cookbook. One of my like must-have cookbooks. I love that. In Brazil, they have processed cheese, but it's a fresh cheddar, mix it with a thick cream. That's what we stuff our pizza crust. Ooh, dude, that's pretty good. I could see like taking a pizza crust and just injecting it with that stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay. Smile or die. You ended up on Frank's channel. Nice. They did a local pizza restaurant did a burger with pizza bagels as the buns for a bacon burger. What? Oh man, these are some creations that I don't get out enough, especially now. I'm over here thinking about making my own pizza, and these guys are doing pizza bagels for burger buns. Holy smokes, yes. That sounds like merging, that's the intersection of two amazing foods, burgers and pizza. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm getting all into this. My mind has now been blown. I'm gonna do a quick taste test, see how this is going. Man, I'm missing the stock, I'll be honest, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. The other thing is, it's okay if this doesn't taste amazing, because
we can use it for, this is 4 servings, and I was already going to reserve 2 servings for tomorrow for arancini. But now, I don't know, maybe I'll reserve more. Because it doesn't matter if the stuffing is a little less flavorful. We can stuff a little bit of mozzarella or whatever cheese we have in there tomorrow when we make arancini. Yeah, this will be good. I need more salt. I do know that. So I measured out 5 grams of kosher salt at the beginning of this, and I just used it all. So we'll see where we end up. I don't know. I wrote that down as a recipe once, so I don't know if that's I think that's my normal. Noel, I have not streamed burger already, but it is on my list. For a while, it was actually really difficult to find ground beef, and I made nachos yesterday with ground beef, which were awesome, and I made tacos last week. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do burgers because a burger sounds really nice, especially because it looks so sunny. It'll be chilly tonight. Not that anybody asked what the weather was, but. But yeah, that would be kind of good, actually. I could get behind that. Monster Master, yes, sir, or ma'am, please do send your personal burger recipe. I'd love to see it. Hopefully I have all the ingredients to make it. This is one reason I love making risotto, because it's not difficult. You know, you just get everything set up early on. But then it just requires attention, but then you can be together with people, or they have to be together with you, is really what turns out, if they want the food. But that's what I like about it. It's kind of fun. You know, you get to sit here, you feel useful, like you're doing something, and then you can yak and listen. It's nice. Couldn't I buy meat and process it? Oh, yeah, I could. I don't have a grinder, though. Yeah, I don't have a grinder. I know... do some people do it in, no, Ravik, I haven't found corn yet. I still haven't found corn. Canned corn, yeah. But anyway, Noel, oh yeah, with the meat. Can I just put it in a food processor? That seems rough on a piece of meat, but is there any other way to do it without using like a grinder attachment? You're having a tough time finding pecans. That is a tough thing to find. Do you get your pecans from, like, are they American export? Because I know, I just learned this recently this year, that like entire huge portions of Arizona and Texas are pecan growing. So I don't know if they grow the world's pecans or if that's just domestic stuff, but I was always curious. Oh, food processor works fine. Okay. Noel, I might give this a shot. Maybe I'll get some chuck or something, or maybe some... Oh, man, I'm kind of thinking of whatever meats I could use, like with enough fat in it. It seems wasteful to do a ribeye, but maybe I could do it. Why not? What do you do in yours? Do you process your own? Yeah, Ravik, I'll let you know if I can find them even. I haven't looked. I've got like a handful here, but that's it. Carrots are harder on my machine than meat. Okay. Almonds do not taste similar. I mean, so I like pecans because they're a little sweeter. The fat content, I think, is higher, or at least the flavor, it just tastes sweeter. So pecans, I think, are unique in that way. But you could probably substitute, depending on the use. Oh, you do a mix of pork and beef. Okay, this is interesting. I've never done that. You add veal and you have yourself a meatball. The Corona corn! Gnarly nerd, don't get that. I think I need to add more water still. This is taking up more than I thought. Yeah, if you guys end up making risotto, again, I highly recommend making like a double dose, a double batch, so that you can make arancini the next day. Because the only thing you need is just this. You put it in the fridge, overnight, so that it's kind of hard. and then just roll it into small balls, put it in like a little bit of breadcrumb, and deep fry it for like a minute. That's super good. Great appetizer. So South Africa, if you do this one tomorrow, there you go. You got 2 days worth of meals right there. I like it because it's kind of nice on quarantine cooking where you don't have to cook a whole nother dish the next day, even though we will tomorrow. Because that's what I'm here for. And it's Friday. Jess, no, you can't use any rice. The longer, I think medium grain is the recommended. So I always look for a real risotto rice like Carnaroli, Violone Nano is a newer one, or even Arborio is the most common one. But Carnaroli, and I'm not using Carnaroli today, I'm using Aquilero, although I don't know if that's the brand name or not. So no, you can't use any kind of rice. It has to do with like the starch content, and this, I don't know exactly the differences. I'm sure somebody here does, but I think the regular like white rice or even like a jasmine rice might break down. Like a white rice I think would break down, like a sticky rice would turn mushy. And I don't think like a basmati or that kind of long grain has enough of the starch in it. But these medium grain grains are perfect because they like start to release the starch with enough stirring and cooking, and then it just turns into this lovely, almost porridge consistency. But yeah, look for Arborio, Carnaroli, Violone Nano, or there's this other one. I think it's I don't know if it's a brand name, but they don't specify the kind of rice. It's Aquilero. Yeah, you're welcome. Noel, yeah, using water is bad. I wouldn't do it if I could avoid it, but I don't have anything to flavor. Well, I probably had a little bit of celery, but I didn't want the overwhelming celery flavor. Oh, I could use asparagus. Yeah. I also kind of wanted to experiment and just see, in true quarantine cooking, could we make this work? All right, almost there. Can you see that okay? Is the light gonna help? Turn on the light. Let's see if that helps. At some point, I actually need a little bit of light because it's quite dark in here, despite what it looks like on this screen. Some more water in there. The big deal here is it's kind of a balance of temperature versus temperature versus water. Like how much attention do you want to give it? Because I like cooking my rice at a higher temperature, but then that means I got to devote a little more attention because I don't want it to start sticking on the bottom. So if you don't want to risk anything, just cook it like medium. Medium's a good temp. And let's see what else did I miss. Difference in rice's starch content. Therefore, you can add starch to make risotto with any type. So I'm curious. Okay, Noel, I'd like to know how that works. Could you just add any starch and make it taste kind of like creamy, or is it going to be different? Oh, and it's kind of nice. Look at this. The artichokes are getting nice and cooked down, like they're starting to soften. Perfect. Like that guy, I don't know if you can kind of tell. Oops, probably not. Let's do this. See, now he actually fell apart. That's fine. But he was starting to bend a little bit. Like that's what I was looking for. It wasn't stiff like it was earlier. Great. DTL, pecan pie martini. Maybe for dessert. Maybe for dessert. I wonder what nuts, like how you would use, I guess it would have to be like a nut milk or something, right? To make it into a cocktail. I'm open to exploring that. I don't know where Ryle went. Not here. Don't know. We'll have to pour some out for him. Pour a little out for the homie. A teaspoon of cornstarch. Oh, that would be, okay. In the spirit of quarantine risotto, I could get behind that. Yeah, I never wash my rice. At least the risotto rice. I don't know if that's good or bad. I know like some people wash rice regularly, like if they're just making a sticky rice or any kind of rice. I don't normally eat regular rice, so I don't know. I don't even know what that does. Why would you or why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? These are big. These are the questions that we're tackling here on Quarantine Cooking with the Pink Shirt Guy. Life-changing questions like, why wash rice? Sometimes I ask why I even bathe. Why wash my body? No one's gonna know. Well, actually, no. Quarantine. All right. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Oh, you know what? I gotta try this. I pulled this out to try, and then I got talking again. Ah, too much talking, Anthony. Don't want to burn my face off again. It needs a little bit more flavor. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the parm is gonna help and the butter's gonna help. But without that chicken stock, and my chicken stock I think is quite flavorful. I think it needs, unless I'm coming down with the Rona and my taste buds are dead. Boy, oh boy. Got that Rona. Hopefully, I don't mean to joke too much about that. Hopefully you don't have it. And if you do, I hope you recover well. Yeah. You fry your rice as linguophile, okay. Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, I can get behind that too. Soaking makes it easier to digest, says Jessica Lemon. Okay. Don't know. Don't know. I wonder if does it feel any better or worse as it's like if it's hard to digest versus easy to digest? Is that why I'm ripping so much ass? Like if is that what's hard to digest? Almost there. Okay, we definitely need some flavor. This is like super, that water, oh boy, it needs a little bit more. If you're doing this, if you're watching this after the fact, I would add more alliums, like get some onion in there. If you made the ranch pesto from last week, you could add some of that. Oh, and I have some more. We might want to add some of that. I think this is good, but it's not, it needs some flavor. Okay. Taste-wise, we're just about there. I'm not gonna add any more. I am gonna add a little bit more water because it's getting al dente now, or it's just about a minute or two shy of al dente. Oh, it's 6:19 already? Holy smokes! I didn't realize we lost the time. Okay. Well, thanks for sticking with me, the 4,000 of you that did. I think it's about time. Let's taste this, make sure. We're good. Green onions on top. That sounds pretty good, actually. Okay, I'm turning off the heat. I'm going to add a pinch more water just to help it mix with the butter. Here we go. We're here all night, says Gnarly. Good, all right, great. I didn't realize it was this late. People gotta eat, man. Okay, now comes the fun part. We add all the cheese. Let's get all the butter in there, and then it's just a stir fest because we want to, as best we can, create an emulsion. It's not going to be perfect, but I'd like for everything to be together, not separate. You know, like the fat kind of pulls out. I don't like that. So, oh, this is going to be so good. Well, the nice thing is if you do watch this later, or if you came late, then you can just fast forward some of the parts. Wish you could do that with life a little bit. You know, like some conversations, you're like, get to the point, buddy. Any conversation with me is one I would definitely fast forward. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna get some more salt because I know it's gonna need more salt. Oh, you know what? And let's cut up some green onions super fast. we go. Okay, let's get a couple. This one looks good. Why not? Salt out of the way. Let's get you. Kind of want those. And here's a fun trick with green onions. If you just slice down the tube, and then you can do your normal on the bias slice, you get these cool, like, really angular V shapes that I think are kind of fun. You know, instead of the standard rings. This is how we're having fun in quarantine cooking land, is where, there we go. We're making these kind of sharp little things. Let's throw a couple in. We'll put some on top too, but just to get a little flavor in here. Done. And this guy's a little, well, we'll get a couple rings in there too. Perfect. And some green. It'll look pretty. Great. Everybody wins. Okay. That actually looks pretty darn good. Let's serve it up. Okay, so do that, and let's make sure to get. Oh, there are some. Oh, and it's perfect. The asparagus or the artichokes are breaking up a little bit. Let's do this. All right, can you see that? Looks pretty good, right? An all-nighter cooking show stand. Yeah. Oh, can I show the onions on top camera? Yeah. Do you want me to cut some more? Can you see those? Oh, you know what? I know what you're asking. See the shape. Well, now I've got these guys. And I don't think I can do that shape with these. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so when you slice down the length of, can you see, there we go. When you slice down the length and then, you know, you're basically opening up the tube and you get the lines. I think the lines are sometimes a little more fun. Like they're kind of like these little angular, little chevron shapes. Oops, there we go. I think they're kind of fun. They're a little bit different than the rings. I don't know. Okay, let's give this a shot and see what happens here. Okay, that's actually not bad. Needs salt. But for no broth, for like a water risotto, it could be a lot worse. I would add a little bit more flavor, whatever you've got. Like if you have any sort of, I would add maybe an onion or something. This is not terrible, but like the artichoke is pretty delicate. That's it, but the nice thing about it though is it's kind of nice and light for spring. Like it doesn't taste heavy. It's actually really good. And I think it'll be perfect for arancini tomorrow. So this actually works. The artichokes are super tasty. I'm so glad. They're totally worth, this converted me. They're totally worth all the effort of turning them and all that fun stuff. Yeah, these are good. Okay. You could chop up some asparagus. We did that a couple weeks ago, but you can totally do that in here. Maybe even some mint. Okay, this is it. I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thursday, tomorrow, what are we doing? Pork chop. And if I have time, I'll do some arancini just as like an appetizer, just to show you how it's done, because I think they're freaking fantastic. That's it. Have a wonderful Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me. This is, honestly, I love this part of my day. So thanks for joining me for this part of my day. It's fun to cook for you guys. If you have questions, send me an email. If you have fun recipes that you think we should do on camera, send me that as well. like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you want to join my newsletter, I'm sending out these recipes and kind of like what would I do differently and stuff in the newsletter. But yeah, it's just kind of general merriment. And I'll put together a couple of jokes for tomorrow that are guaranteed to be groaners. But we'll do what we can here. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a wonderful, safe Thursday. We'll see you on Friday where we get to celebrate the end of the week. All right, take care, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.